The caption of this video reads, 2079, authorities track down the last white man. Yep, he's a goner. As of course, if there's going to be any left, specifically with the crazy situation right now unfolding inside of Europe with this proxy war that sadly looks like it won't be ending anytime soon, as we have some very important updates and some interesting conversations with Donald Trump and the corporate media as the two are clashing together in very epic, crazy, insane ways that we're going to be breaking down in this particular video, as of course now the times for pleasantry, they're over, as it looks like soon the time for diplomacy might be over too, which will propel us into a new stage of this conflict that truly will be its most dangerous stage ever. I've been talking about geopolitical news for about 20 plus years here on this independent media broadcast, and everything that we've been calling, everything that we've been reporting on, everything that has been crescendoing to this moment has been absolutely right on the money. So you are definitely here at the right channel. Subscribe, click the notification button, as of course the latest of which of what we had here during this ongoing saga that has been going all the way back since 2014, even before that. And we detailed how with U.S. aid money and covert actions that were deliberately sabotaging governments, peace deals, negotiations for an extremely long time, and bringing us to the forefront of this perpetual form of warfare that is very difficult to try to unwind here. As the latest information we had here is that Putin came out and said, hey, we're negotiating ceasefires. Ukraine wants a 30-day ceasefire. They're going to rearm and reengage us. They're going to do that. Then we're going to fight again. How about we just do a 3-day one so we could all just kind of relax for a little bit? It's going to be for a specific parade that we want to do in Russia, celebrating our victory over the Germans in the 1930s and the funny mustache guy. That probably fled to Argentina and lived a long life, by the way, according even to many federal documents now that we've been talking about for a very long time now. Anyway, I digress here. But Putin came out with his own counteroffer, and the Ukrainians automatically said, no, you just want this for your parade. And Putin's like, yeah, I just want this for my parade. And Zelensky said, no, not going to be agreeing with this, as Donald Trump now responded to this. And Donald Trump expressed frustrations with Vladimir Putin and his counteroffer of a 3-day ceasefire, as it's pretty clear here. Trump wants permanent ceasefire. He wants sustained peace. He wants energy resources released on the world stage, as Russia is a major energy producer. And if they're able to, of course, provide energy to Europe, provide energy on the world markets, the price of energy would go down, the price of everything else would go down, and it would significantly increase the global economy in a positive way. Now, right now, it looks like Russia and Ukraine show no signs of wanting to end this war. Trump and his administration have already threatened to walk away 4 times. Luckily, they have not here, but Trump is unhappy with Putin's 3-day ceasefire proposal. Zelensky said, nope, he's not going to be doing it. There still might be a chance where they could go back to the negotiations table and say, yeah, okay, fine, just give us 3 days of peace here. And hopefully the soldiers and the military leadership understand, 3 days of not blowing each other up with the latest, greatest robotics type of technology and destroying all of human will with limbs altogether. Maybe that's a great thing. As it's pretty clear here, Donald Trump is siding with Zelensky here, countering back against Putin and saying no to Vladimir Putin. But Donald Trump did come out and describe a situation where he says it's a lot easier to work with Putin than with Zelensky, quote, who has no cards but keeps asking for more and more. Yep, that's the latest here, as the United States said, you know what, we're not going to support you guys. This is insane. Make a deal. Make some peace deals. From my information that I'm seeing gathered here, there still is some kind of support and information being given to the Ukrainians by the Americans, but the arms are being cut off here. The Europeans aren't as plentiful, aren't as charitable as the United States is to the Ukrainians, and as the United States was to the Ukrainians, as they want them to do their dirty work for them. But as the New York Times writes here, that the Ukrainians, in their uncertainty, with the United States not really backing them in as they previously had before, they hope that technological innovations will help them win this war. What are the technological innovations? Well, drones, robotics here. As the New York Times writes, Ukraine has adapted strategies and weapons during its fight against Russia. It is now banking on expanding the use of domestically produced drones, even though American arms remain crucial. Yeah. Will this be just a full all-out drone war that is conducted and being fought here? It already is, as the Russians are answering back with their drones. The Ukrainians are launching some long-range drones as well that just hit a Russian factory that made it ignite. And it's just a constant back and forth here, robotics form of warfare that is the most type of brutalistic, most type of jarring and destructive forms of warfare that are literally creating hell on earth conditions. There's no surrender to the robots. There's no surrender. There's no white flag, even though you might wave it, even though you might beg for mercy. Those drones don't give a damn, and they will kamikaze right into you and take the life and blow you up to smithereens in the sky, just creating a big red mist of what used to be a human life. And seeing a lot of these videos, like, you cannot be anti-war. Sorry. You cannot be pro-war after watching these videos. You cannot be, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. And you know, many other times you see these clips and they play this horrible like music behind it, and you see people running away, you see people fleeing, you see people hiding. Doesn't matter to the drones. The drones always finds them. Boom! Human limbs, mist, blood, gore, organs, human matter, just pulverized, blended automatically. It's the most disgusting type of stuff that you could ever see that hits you, because you're like, hey, that's just a young man. That's just a man that's just trying to frickin' live his life here. And then it is celebrated in the sickest of ways. And the Russians do this. The Ukrainians do this. When you watch this footage, I don't care if it's a Russian. I don't care if it's a Ukrainian. It's a human soul. It's a human body that's being pulverized and obliterated here. And it is absolutely awful to see the way that this war has been conducted here. As Donald Trump recently got into an interesting war of words with an ABC News reporter that I think was pretty interesting. Before showing you this clip and breaking it down and talking about the next level of this type of form of warfare, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. We got a lot of great products available to you. I really love our full spectrum CBD. You click right here on Klaus Schwab, sucking it down. And it's something, hey, after doing the research and seeing these horrible videos, I'm like, this is horrible. I need to like get this out. I need to like calm down and relax after seeing such human horrors on there. This helps. I'll be honest. It helps me. It might help you. I like it, and it definitely does work on calming down your nervous system, helping you relax. This is great when you want to do a meditation. I need a meditation. I'm long overdue for a meditation. I'm probably going to do one for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. After today, I got a very long work day today, and I'm going to need to meditate after, delving in and doing all the research that I've been doing. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to do some deep breathing meditations. I'm going to record it. I'm going to release it for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. Again, you don't want to rely on your CBD from gas stations. All right. There's some really horrible stuff in there. Really bad products that are not natural, that are not good. This is made and produced in America. It's top quality stuff. Listen, we could get the stuff from China. Okay. We're not going to get the stuff from China. Made, grown, produced, packaged, made here in the United States of America, fully an all-American product. And most of the people, well, when I see them sell the same exact product, it's for like $100, $120, $64 here. We've made it so it's affordable because it really is something that helps. I have family members that deal with stress and anxiety. I'm like, take some of this. And this, of course, will help you. Now, of course, it won't help you if you keep doing the horrible things for your gut, if you keep not having proper sleep, if you don't prioritize self-care. Yeah, if you keep drinking booze and Starbucks drinks for some reason always trigger anxiety in me. I have regular strong coffee at home, and I drink very strong coffee at home. Boom, I feel great. Yeah, I'm good. I'm drinking it. I'm drinking it right now. Right. Yeah, I'm drinking that right now. Very strong. Great. I get a regular coffee drink at Starbucks. Like, oh, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling anxious. Why am I feeling anxious? What the hell are they putting in that coffee? And then I'm like, okay, I'll just grab some take calm and then relax right away. And I do. But then I don't continue drinking the Starbucks drink. I had someone dealing with anxiety, and I was like, hey, take some of this. And then they keep sucking down all this like Starbucks coffee. And I'm like, stop. Like, what are you doing? They're like, no, your stuff doesn't work. It doesn't work because you keep doing the bad thing that you're doing. Again, holistic, smart approach here is what we promote here at wearechange.shop. If you appreciate it, get the product, support our independent media venture. Now, let's continue on talking about these latest developments here, because what we are seeing now is a new form. And as soon as like the AI becomes more and more relevant here, you're going to see human destruction and death like we have never seen before. But now Donald Trump got into an interesting kind of tidbit with ABC News. The corporate media has been listen, I've been covering this for a very long time. We criticized Donald Trump when he was escalating the situation in his first term, when he was sending lethal weapons to the Ukrainians, something that Barack Obama was afraid of, right? This time around, it looks like he's pulling out all the stops for peace here, and the corporate media is just viciously attacking him in such unfair ways. They're saying, oh, he promised day one. Why didn't he do it day one? Because it's an extremely difficult process that you're dealing with there. Slavic men, I'm one of them, very difficult to deal with sometimes. Very egotistical, very prideful, okay? Now you're talking about the Minsk agreements. You're talking about deals, history, bloodshed. You're talking about the Banderoses. There's so much history here, okay? It's not easy to unwind here, unravel this current situation. Donald Trump, in my opinion, is doing his best here, and to me, he's doing a lot better than all the other previous presidents, including his own presidency beforehand.
Don't forget, think he wants peace? You think Vladimir Putin wants peace?
I think he does, yes. I think he does. I think because
even with the raining missiles
I think he really, his dream was to take over the whole country. I think because of me, he's not going to do that.
Do you trust him? Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people.
There you go. Do you trust him? I don't trust you, bro. What are you doing here? You're cheerleading for more war. You're cheerleading for more conflict. You're saying you're in the middle of the negotiations, and this corporate media stooge here is trying to sabotage it. You think Putin and the Russians aren't watching this? Of course they are. And then you're trying to set the mindset in his mind. Don't trust them. How can you negotiate someone you don't have a little bit of faith in, that you don't trust even a little bit? Okay, that's a ridiculous premise to come. But the corporate media is so war thirsty. They're so hungry for more conflict that you better not trust them. You can't negotiate with someone you don't trust. Okay, you can't come to the same table and be like, yeah, I don't trust them. That's not going to work. Okay. You need some trust on both sides here. That's what makes the negotiation work. And these guys that are probably connected to intel agencies are trying to unwind every kind of psychological aspect of this peace deal and trying to bring Donald Trump on the precipice of saying, you better sabotage these talks. You better destroy them now. Trump's like, I don't trust you, bro. And that's the right move here. That's the right kind of expression here, in my opinion.
I trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
And
happy.
then you start hitting me with fake questions. You start telling me that a guy whose hand is covered with a tattoo doesn't have the tattoo. You know.
All right.
I mean, you're being dishonest.
No, I'm not.
Let me
No,
just
I am
tell you,
not,
do
sir.
I trust? I don't trust a lot of people. But I do think this. I think that let's say he respects me. And I believe because of me, he's not going to take over the whole. But his decision, his choice would be to take over all of Ukraine. Okay. It's a war that never should have happened.
And I agree with that, with Donald Trump here. And a lot of people in the comment section are saying it's weird to see a president actually, answer questions. The previous administration wasn't doing any of that. The previous administration was going to journalists and saying, here are the questions you're going to ask us, and you're not going to deviate from that. And you're going to be our little PR puppet hoe, and you're going to enjoy it. All right? We won't even give you any lube before we just use you for our pleasure, joy, and sinister propaganda purposes. So seeing Donald Trump actually answer these questions, you see that they're definitely unscripted. You see that they're definitely hardball questions. You see that they're psychologically based in order to trigger and to attack and to undermine the peace deal that is being made here. So shouts out to Donald Trump for actually countering back against a lot of this nonsense, a lot of this insanity, a lot of this kind of vitriolic warmongering that has now become a constant state of affairs for the corporate media that keeps almost every step of the way trying to sabotage peace deals and negotiations. The European Union doing very similar things. The corporate media doing very similar things. You know who they're working with. They're working with the intel agencies that are also involved here and have been involved ever since before 2014. They were preparing for this war. They now have this war. They want this war to continue. As of course, we also got news recently that Ukraine is ready to sign a U.S. resource deal, and that they're going to be signing it in a matter of hours. This is pretty big here, as the United says, yep, we're ready here. And guess what? We just found a last-minute hurdle. Oh, as the agreement is in doubt, as the Ukrainian first deputy prime minister flies to Washington. Oh, yeah. The U.S. and Ukraine hit last-minute hurdles on Wednesday as they were on the verge of signing a framework deal on exploiting Ukrainian minerals. Again, the Ukrainians are getting something out of this too here. It's not just, and again, this is why Donald Trump is having such a hard time in this, because you have one narrative in the corporate media. You have Zelensky here that is playing hardball with him too. Some people say rightfully so because he's looking out for Ukraine. But to me, the longer you keep this war going, the less you're looking out for your country, for your people. The Financial Times continues. The agreement that they had been due to sign after marathon negotiations, which was seen by the Financial Times, said when Washington and Kiev would boost investment in Ukraine by developing its natural resources and creating a joint investment fund. Yeah, I'm sorry, that doesn't sound like you're exploiting someone, okay? A joint investment fund helping Ukraine develop its natural resources and then sharing some of the profits. Yeah, that doesn't sound like exploitation, especially when you have American resources, American companies that, of course, guarantee protection for Ukraine during this very key, important, tumultuous time from them. But the article continues. But problems arose as Ukraine's first deputy prime minister, Yulia Sergeyeva, flew to Washington to sign the deal, according to three people familiar with the matter. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett's team told Savazija she should be ready to sign all agreements or go back home, the people said. The Americans want the Ukrainians to sign not just the framework deal, but also a second detailed fund agreement that would complete the full minerals deal, and a third technical document altogether on Wednesday, said three people briefed on the situation. A person familiar with the United States thinking said on Wednesday that Ukraine had sought to revisit terms agreed on the weekend, and that Savazija had been told not to fly to the U.S. until the agreement is finalized. Again, Ukrainians are like, well, what? They want us to sign more documents? We're not signing that. President Trump has said that the time to get this done is now, and we are moving with all the deliberate speed towards this end, said U.S. Treasury spokesperson. The Ukrainians said the U.S. account was inaccurate and that they could not sign all the documents on Wednesday because the fund agreement must be ratified by the country's parliament. Again, now it's just stalling. It's just stalling by the Ukrainians here that are saying, yeah, you know what, we're just not going to do this. Now, other questions are arising that the corporate media is running with when it comes to a journalist that looks like she just had her body returned to the Ukrainians with some organs missing. Some people are saying that this is showing signs of torture, and during times of war, yeah, that's exactly kind of what happens here. Now, are these allegations true here? And as we know, the Russian Empire, Vladimir Putin, isn't known for soft gloves here. There's a reason a lot of his critics go kaput. Okay, let's just be real with ourselves. There's a reason. Journalists and political opposition leaders, boop, where do they go? I don't know. Oh, they got radiation poisoning. Who thought that? So this is another big case here that people are bringing up now that, of course, will be hindering more negotiations, leaving the question, why did the Russians give back the body of Victoria Rachina, who was 27 years of age, after she traveled to the Russian-occupied territory of Zaporizhia in eastern Ukraine. And then, of course, she, of course, lost her life here. Now, exactly what happened here, I don't know. The Russians are going to have their own account. The Ukrainians are going to have their own account. It's pretty clear the corporate media in America will be running with the Ukrainian account. Donald Trump is backing the Ukrainians today, but it looks like that they are making it difficult to sign any kind of deal here. And they're saying, yeah, we're just not going to do that, which to me is, listen, I think at this point, it's pretty clear. Ukrainians don't want peace here. The Russians are waiting for their latest offensive. And I think there's also a concerted effort by them not to have peace here as well. And this is why Donald Trump came out and said, I'm just going to wash my hands of this and walk away. That's probably what's going to happen here. And then the war is going to get a lot crazier, a lot more insane. Expect that to happen and more. And you're going to need some CBD. Get some on takecalm.com. That's my assessment. Let's pray for peace. I think that's important more than ever. I love you guys. Let's pray for cooler heads to prevail. Let's pray for good economic deals for everyone all around so we could actually make some money and stop blowing each other up. I think that's a good deal. If you agree, share this video. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.